So did you hear about that Eric Stevenson stuff?
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
What?
Yeah, I know. I mean, fuck that. Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Yeah, what's up?
You're just kind of encroaching over here, huh? You
you
can't
knock
give
or
anybody,
something?
like, yeah, you know, a heads up that you're here? See how it is. All right,
I'm prepared. Hold on, I gotta cover my nose.
Well, while Morgan takes care of what he has to down there.
Howdy.
Yes, this is another episode of Comics Should Smell Very Good, though I can't smell very well. I'm kind of sick. I'm probably going to get him sick by proxy.
Oh boy, looking forward to that.
Yeah. But we got a lot of good stuff this week, actually, for the first week of March. It is the impending Comic-Con month, so, you know.
You know, get your stuff, go check that list, see who's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Come get all your comics from us so you can get them signed.
That's right. And we're going to start this week.
Yes, with the GOAT!
The GOAT!
No, not the greatest of all time, although it is probably the greatest of all time GOAT comic, but this is, what is it? Quantum and Woody? I always get them confused with Archer and Armstrong, but yes!
This is the funnier version.
Yeah, the way funnier.
Way funnier version. But see, when I think of the GOAT, I always remember Adam Sandler. And the GOAT, like, hey, GOAT! You know, on the Ragu Festival, you know.
Yeah, that's just going right over my head.
Yeah, Monkey's giving me the
seen
nod.
Happy Gilmore. I mean, like, two of the Adam Sandler catalog.
Anyway,
my generation
we're passing...
has learned not to respect such inferior comedians. Anyways.
I'm gonna give you that...
GOAT.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, the GOAT. James ASMUS, Tom Fowler. This is Quantum and Woody's sidekick, who, you know, is the awesome GOAT. Basically, the GOAT escapes to a science festival with evil scientists. Bad things happen to the GOAT, and then Quantum and Woody come to the rescue, kind of, almost. But all GOAT action all the time, very good.
There's some awesome variant covers, one of them by sex criminals Chip Zdarsky.
There is. It has ponies.
Another really shocking one for me. I did not think I would be talking about Batman and Superman 2 weeks in a row.
No.
But this is their first annual. It was delayed by a few weeks or something, I don't know, but it's got art by Jay Lee, not just Jay Lee, but also Kenneth Rockford and also Philip Tan, presenting, honestly, some of the best work I've seen from him in quite a while.
Yeah.
This has the sort of collision between the Batman family and the Superman family. Got Steel, Supergirl, Red Hood and the Outlaws, Superboy, Robin not looking too good down there. I don't know about that.
It looks dead.
This deals with the attack of Mongol's son after...
Mongol has a son?
Mongol always has a son.
True.
You know, in the old continuity, Mongol was actually Mongol's son. We're not getting into that.
That's right.
It's not important right now.
Wow, my head hurts already.
It looks awesome, is what I'm trying to say.
It does. And from Image Comics this week, we have Darkness, Vicious Traditions by Ailish Kott and Dean Ormston. Kott is most recently finished up the first arc of Zero. He's starting on Secret Avengers and Iron Patriot soon. Dean Ormston is of Lucifer fame, and to be honest, I never really would have ever recommended a Darkness comic, but this is a one-shot. It looks like ancient kind of King Arthur, bloody gladiator type of Darkness.
Yeah, lots of Roman era barbarian clashes.
But Kott's, you know, I've talked about him a bunch before. He's a really interesting writer, and I'm very curious to see what he can do with a kind of quote-unquote bottom-of-the-barrel character. Apologies if you like Darkness. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's probably not working out too well for you.
Yeah, so after we've insulted our
take
audience...
a break from insulting you
right,
guys.
and we're going to throw it over to Mr. Will Harris, as usual, who has a mountain of awesomeness for you this week.
Hey guys, and my book of the week is Forever Evil 6. This is teased as the final fate of Nightwing. If you're not caught up in Forever Evil, basically the crime syndicate came in, took over everything. The Justice League is off somewhere in some freaky cosmic world. The only one left, so there's this bizarre but kind of cool alliance of Batman, Catwoman, Lex Luthor, Sinestro, Deathstroke, and they're making a final giant last stand against the crime syndicate, and poor Nightwing is caught in the middle. And if you know, Nightwing has already been screwed over in issue 1. He was captured, he was beaten by the crime syndicate, his identity exposed, so he's kind of caught in the middle of this big battle of bad guys with Batman. Some huge shocks in this, and it's a whole setting up for what's going to be next in the DC universe. And things aren't looking good for Nightwing. Read my theories about it on comicsblend.com. I definitely picked this up. All new Marvel now, #1, Magneto. This is really cool. Cullen Bunn, who writes Deadpool, takes Magneto. You know, he's been a terrorist. He's been a mutant leader. And this one, he's kind of like this kind of mutant tracker detective, kind of like how Michael Fassbender was on his mission of vengeance in X-Men First Class. He's kind of fed up with following Cyclops. You know, S.H.I.E.L.D. has Sentinels now, and so Magneto is going solo on his own. He's rejected even the evil mutants. He's rejected the X-Men. He's doing it his way. The art is really cool, too. So Magneto #1, check it out, brand new series by Cullen Bunn. Deja Vu, we just said goodbye to Wolverine and the X-Men by Jason Aaron, and Jason Latour has the ominous, maybe that's the, I don't know if that's the right word, following in Jason Aaron's footsteps. Wolverine and the X-Men, it's been graduation day, so it's summer school, and it's very, very different. It starts off with a weird twist into the future. We've already hinted that Quentin Quire, the little brat's going to become the Phoenix, but it plays into that, and there's this whole new thing with the Phoenix Force. Storm's the headmistress. The new teacher is Phantom X. So there's a lot of cool stuff from Rick Remender's Uncanny X-Force run that factors into this as well. Mahmoud Azrar is the artist. Check it out. It's definitely a different take on Wolverine and the X-Men with even some new mutant students at the Jean Grey School. This hero has gotten more reboots and relaunches than I can think of almost anybody. Huge big names have tried to give Moon Knight a new twist. Well, I mean, come on, Warren Ellis. You know, it's easy to, he's not just a Batman guy. He's definitely a billionaire who's kind of crazy, who dresses up in white and does avenging vigilante stuff. But it's just weird. The guy's kind of weird. He's got multiple issues, multiple personalities, and Warren Ellis is going to get into the psyche of what makes Mark Spector tick, and his take is investigating weird crime. So it kind of reminds me of those old Kolchak Night Stalker with a guy in a crazy white suit walking in a limo. So, and beautiful art by Declan Shalvey and Jordi Belair. So check this out, Moon Knight #1. The mighty Greg Rucka of Lazarus and Batwoman, a brand new horror limited series from Dark Horse. It's called Veil. Really creepy art. It's almost like all those Japanese weird movies, you know, with girls with long hair all wet, but in a gritty, acidy kind of thing. So crazy girl wakes up in a subway, no memory of who she is. Guys start to attack her. Next thing they all wind up dead. Who is she? What are her powers? Really spooky and creepy. Great art. Greg Rucka. Greg Rucka could write the phone book, and I'd give a chance to it. So Veil #1. And finally, Mark Millar and beautiful art by Frank Quitely. This is Jupiter's Children #4. It's like a weird morality tale, superhero family soap opera about these kids who are the children of the world's most famous superheroes, and how the heck are you following your mom and dad's footsteps? Well, they're actually stomping in the footsteps. And it's this weird dynamic family drama, very violent, very twisted. If you liked Mark Millar's The Authority, you may really like this one as well. Once again, beautiful by Frank Quitely. That's all from me this week, guys. Back to you.
And because I was so busy insulting you, I forgot to mention that Ailish will be here for a signing the week after Emerald City Comic Con, the 2nd of April. So yeah, from 4 to 6 p.m. We'll be reminding you many of the time after this.
Come on in, get your comics about crappy characters signed by great writers.
That's right.
And speaking of crappy characters and actually crappy writers, I'm gonna be honest,
I know.
the whole thing's kind of just crap here, but we're still selling it. This is the 2nd issue of Guttertown Massive.
No, just Guttertown. See, you
Guttertown
screwed it already.
Well,
You know?
I like Guttertown Massive better. It's crap. It's crap now. I liked it better the way it was.
Well, you know what? Who didn't? Eric Larson didn't like it better. He liked it just as Guttertown. So did Eric Stevenson.
In all seriousness, this is Casey, our own Casey's awesome sci-fi post-apocalyptic beat-fighting comic. We've talked about it a bit before. Obviously not enough, because, well, no, that's a lie. We sold out of the 1st issue, but we have more of it, along with this 2nd issue.
All art by Demi Maharis, and we have this awesome Dallas Merchant poster that is going to be upcoming. So yeah, it's kind of the coolest 80s movie that you're never going to see. So.
Well, besides Vandroid.
Besides Vandroid, this is true. That was hard to do. We don't have a fan club yet. To go with Jupiter's Legacy this week, continuing his epic unveilment of the Millar world and his reigning dominance over the internet or the entertainment industry as far as non-Marvel movies go. Mark Millar brings you with Goran Parlov, Moebius' long-lost comic. No, really. This is Starlight #1, drawn in a very Moebius style by Goran Parlov. Kind of like Flash Thompson. I mean, god damn it, you did the same thing to me. Flash Gordon, but imagine that Flash Gordon came back to Earth, got old, married,
and never went back to Mongo.
And never went back to Mongo. And then now
he has to go back
trouble
to Mongo.
Brewing on Mongo.
Spoilers.
Well, okay, maybe it's not Mongo,
but he's old now.
That's right, and he's crotchety, and he's grumpy, and he's got a ray gun, and he's gonna shoot people like friggin' Transmet Spider Jerusalem does. But yes, very pretty, very nice. Goran Parlov, very, very good artist.
Yeah, doing his best Moebius impression.
Extremely, even signs it like Moebius.
Another awesome book here. This is Scooby-Doo Team Up #3. Pretty sure we've talked about every previous issue of this, but that is just a testament to how awesome it is.
Yeah.
The last one had Ace the Bat-Hound team up with the gang, but now we have got Batmite. Yes, Batmite, the tiny, obnoxious, buck-toothed, short-pants-wearing imp from the 5th dimension, here to mess around with the Scooby-Doo gang's brains, at least, you know, further. I'm sure they're not all
They're already
there right
all
now,
tripped
but
out, man.
It was the 60s.
It's true.
I don't
really all you need to say.
No, yeah, like, I
If
don't
that
know what else
doesn't
you can
sell
say about
you,
this besides
yeah.
Batmite is in it, it's gonna get weird.
Yeah. And speaking of weird, we were gonna transport you to the undisclosed location where Anna beams her recommendations
into us.
Yes, absolutely. So, you know.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I'm here to talk about some books. First up, we have Grindhouse Doors at Midnight, #6, Bride of Blood, Part 2 from Alex DeCampi and Francesca Manfredi. It's a Game of Thrones meets Norse anthology as Brarwyn gets her revenge on the Wood Reavers that wreaked havoc on her wedding party. She finds out that the Wood Reavers might have had other political affiliations behind them. This is great 70s-esque exploitation books. I love the Grindhouse series. You should pick them up every week. Even though this is the second part, I think we still got some first ones. Next up is Evil Empire. It's the first issue from comics writer and musician Max Bemis, author of Polarity. This one's out by Boom Studios again. It's a look at the politics behind how an evil empire comes to be. We know evil factions that exist in worlds like Star Wars and The Matrix, but we just see them at their most powerful, and we want to know how they got to be the most powerful. It's awesome characters, awesome dialogue, political espionage at its most evil. It's great. Check it out. Ooh, this is a good one. A good and beautiful one. This is a Nijigahara holograph out from Fantagraphics. It's a beautiful, beautiful hardcover by Inyo Asano. You could classify it under classic Japanese horror, but it's so much more than that. Kind of lynchian alternative timelines of at a school, kids trying to figure out what the monster behind or underneath their sewer is, but also them as adults and figuring out what to do with their lives as they've grown up feeling like disenfranchised children and the adults that grow up with them. It's required reading for anyone who's a fan of manga, horror, good books in general. Pretty much everyone should be reading this book. You might have to read it 3 times, but it is worth it every single time. And I'm pretty sure the boys are going to talk about this, or they've already talked about this, because I'm filming off-site, mysterious location. But we can't be talking about this book, the Auteur, enough unless it is oozing brain matter out of our brain skulls. This book is so good, and I read it, the premature release when it came out at New York Comic Con like 6 months ago, and I've been begging and pleading Rick Spears and James Callahan to put out more of this book. I think they have the 4th issue done already, but it's finally here to the masses. It's a washed-up producer trying to get his next picture back on track, his career back on track, and he can only do so in strip clubs and by huffing glue if that gives you a little bit of a direction of where this book goes, it's amazing. And this cover is by Eric Powell, which is also beautiful. Yeah, great stuff this week. I'm going to let Morgan and Casey probably talk about this book some more. Or again. Or not at all. You decide.
Oh my god, did you see Stanley with tits on that cover of the Auteur?
I did, and it's burned into my memory.
Never again will I unsee that. But that's okay. We have the slightly safer version
Well,
with the smiling
it's still
eyeball.
pretty gory, but you know, gore is lower than tits on the fendometer.
At least for Americans. Yeah.
This is true.
But yes, as Anna so elegantly put, this is the Auteur, #1. Rick Spears, James Callahan. What else can we say about
It's
it that
really
she didn't
cool.
say?
There's presidential face hacking. There's an awesome fake movie poster in the middle.
I'm all about the fake movie posters. Every issue of Grindhouse 2 that she talked about comes with like 3 fake movie posters. There were some
Unfortunately,
really good
they
ones.
aren't double paged like this one.
That's
also
true.
positioned nicely in the middle of the issue so you can pull it out without ruining the rest of the comic.
And you know what? You can rip it out because the other side is an Auteur poster and you're not going to screw up your comic. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Awesome stuff from Oni, huh?
Yeah, Oni Press really pushing it up, especially after Bunker.
Yeah.
About 2
Well,
weeks
with
ago.
that and
or what it
Letter
was.
44.
Letter
I mean,
44, yeah, Charles Soule, absolutely.
Really going for quality over quantity here.
That's right. Because they don't have a lot of single issues, I gotta tell you.
Ooh. And the cover of the week, and also just a really awesome comic. This is the first issue of IDW's new Rogue Trooper
Rogue
series.
Trooper!
This one bearing the subscription variant of James Stocco. Yes, the James Stocco.
Who, if you didn't know, is a gigantically huge Rogue Trooper fan. And yes, I have held and touched and given away his most awesome Rogue Trooper page that probably blew away 90% of other Rogue Trooper stuff. But that is neither here nor there. This is by Alberto Ponticelli, who did Unknown Soldier.
A great Vertigo Unknown Soldier run, different from the Garth Ennis one, of course.
Yes, which came out like a week ago.
Awesome sort of warfare, monster action in Frankenstein and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Style, yeah.
Really cool Dial H stuff. Really great monsters going on there. This is just horrifying bugs, sort of Starship Troopers style.
Yeah, Rogue Trooper was a 2000 AD strip about genetically modified entrymen that can survive the radiated desert of New World. And,
Because it can't be 2000 AD unless there's a radiated desert.
Exactly. And so basically he's got like kind of multiple personality in that his gun, his bag, and his helmet all carry the souls, or the microchips if you will, of his dead warriors. So you have Bagman, Gunman, and... shit, I forget the other one. Oh wait, you can't say... you probably shouldn't say that on
Sam, we're gonna need some bleeps for this video.
Yeah, but you know what? This is intense Blue Man action. Like, if Smurfs were on steroids and given AK-47s, they would be Rogue Troopers. Absolutely.
Well put.
So, I'm gonna leave you with that, and, you know, just imagine...
Just think about the Smurf war crimes.
That's right. They'd be vicious. Smurf trials. Alright, guys. We will see you next week.